Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. In today's episode, we're going to be studying a piece by the career 3D artist known as Stuz0r, and in this episode, we're going to be looking at this dangerous display. We're also going to explore influences of science fiction, so let's jump right into it. In our initial introduction to this work, we're gassed out by this incredibly harsh, smoky grit. Your first impression is likely one of shock due to the harrowing sight before us here. So within this work, we see three regions ripe for analysis. We see, two wrought metallic machinescapes just holding this void within its grasp here. And colors within this work really consist of a red, a gray, and a black. This combination is no doubt fatal, as it may remind of, smoke, ash, and blood here. Of course, a varying harrowing composition. We also see the impact of texture within this work. Of course, you have the industrial, the smoky, the burnt. All of it feels incredibly harsh and, like I said, even fatal in that sense as well. But with this in mind, how do y'all feel when you view this piece, or how do you think the impact of color or texture may, contribute to that feeling there? One of the first things I noticed when I saw this work is this grand sense of scale. Of course, we have this lone astronaut who's just dwarfed by the surrounding setting. This impact no doubt provides a testament to the monumental moment which we're witnessing here. And we see this, lone subject, this astronaut, descending from the ascendant frame of the composition here. It's hard to say exactly where we are, but it feels cyberpunk, it feels industrial, it feels, harsh and relentless nonetheless. There is no doubt about that. With this in mind, where do y'all think we are? What have we stumbled upon here? Welcome to one embodiment of hell. Our subject is barely tethered in there, is kind of descending into this extremely fatal, this red industrial machinescape here. We see this, of course. It is a scene of pure chaos that just threatens to even smother life itself. With this in mind, always beware of the Comedown. This is a dangerous and fatal piece. There is no doubt about that. It was an absolute pleasure to study. And so the work before us is a digital render, so it's created with a 3D art program. That program is going to be Cinema 4D, really a professional program. I see a lot of pros using it. So if y'all are using something like Blender, you want to take your renders or your 3D art to the next level, I would certainly suggest checking out Cinema 4D. Familiarity is a really big thing with artists. So, if y'all see a big difference from Blender to Cinema 4D, or if you do or if you don't, just go with what feels best for you to create. So, like I said, this is a digital render. It's an incredibly realistic. It always immerses us within that so well. I have an additional work here that draws an incredible contrast to the fatal scene before us. I'm going to bring that in real quick and see what we can learn. Alright, so the primary reason I brought this in, of course, both are created by the same artist and both display us within space, and yet one is much more dangerous than the other. And I found this as a true testament to, the vast realm of the unknown. Of course, space is an incredible example of that. It is relentless, it is a vacuum, and it is really the next frontier of exploration. But in both of these works, you have a striking contrast. In one, we have a fatal and dangerous display, and yet in another, we have the divine. And so it's always important to remember, out in the vast realm of the unknown, everything awaits you, from the dark to the divine. So yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed today. This was a dangerous and fatal piece. There is no doubt about that. It was a blast to study it. It really brought me into that kind of cyberpunk, the industrial, the machinescape. I absolutely loved it. So really hope y'all enjoyed today. If y'all enjoyed today's episode, make sure to check out the original artist, Stuz0r, doing some amazing stuff in the world of 3D art. It has inspired a lot of creators to take up the world of 3D art as well. So if y'all enjoyed this work, if y'all like the digital render, and you want to get involved with it, I would say start with something like Blender or even Cinema 4D if you're feeling treacherous. So, like I said, really hope y'all enjoyed today. If y'all did, go check out the original artist. My name is Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.